You take a look at the last 5 players, the winners of the Players' Championship. They all entered the week inside the top 10 in the official world golf ranking. So you see Scottie Scheffler 2 years in a row. You got Cam Smith, JT, and Rory McIlroy winning it back in 2019. For more, Greg Ducharme joining us now. All right, let's talk about Scottie Scheffler. Looking to win his 3rd straight Players. He seeks to join Jack Nicklaus as one of the 3-time winners of the Players, but would be the first to do it at TPC Sawgrass. We know he can do it. Will he, though?
Well, I think there are some real questions about Scottie's game for the first time in about 3 years. I mean, I haven't seen Scottie Scheffler struggle or fight something with his golf swing the way he has the last couple of weeks since I've been following him, which takes you back all the way to 2020, 2019. He has been incredibly reliable with his iron play, but all of a sudden over these first 4 weeks coming back after his hand surgery, we've seen him hit some uncharacteristic pulls. We've seen him leave some shots short to the right, even with wedges. So I think Scottie definitely has something to work on in his golf swing for the first time in a long time. And even though his strategy and his tact and his attitude on the golf course are things that could carry him to a win, he would be making a really big stride during the practice rounds this week.
Interesting to say that there's some concern there. We're going to ask about Rory McIlroy next. That was your 2019 Players Champion, making his 15th career appearance. He owns 4 top 10s at TPC Sawgrass, but none since his victory. What can we expect from him this year?
I think you could expect some really good things. Look, Rory has been kind of tinkering with his bag a little bit. He has a tendency of doing this for some reason leading into the Masters. He likes to try to get that whole thing organized around this time of year. And this time it caused him a little bit of trouble at Bay Hill. But all in all, while he didn't have his best stuff last week at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, he's still able to hang around the lead for most of the tournament. He finishes in a tie for 15th. I think things are heading in the right direction for Rory McIlroy. And when we get to a place like TPC Sawgrass, when we get on these Bermuda greens, I think you see an uptick in Rory's putting performance as well. So a lot to look forward to for Rory McIlroy heading into this week.
Absolutely. How about Collin Morikawa? He claimed his 11th career runner-up finish at last week's Arnold Palmer Invitational, holding a 1-stroke lead through 54 holes. What are you hoping to see from him this weekend?
Well, I think Collin Morikawa really just needs to see a couple of putts fall. You know, on Sunday, he had a tremendous day of ball striking. He gave himself a ton of opportunities inside that 25-foot circle, but he was basically shut out. He didn't make any of them. Now, on Saturday, it was a totally different story. On Saturday, he made some really challenging, difficult downhill sliding putts. We're going to need to see a little bit of a spark out of Collin Morikawa. When you look at what he's done with his ball striking, his driver performance, the accuracy especially, his iron play performance, the precision he has heading into greens like this that really, they have the ability to tuck hole locations near trouble. Collin has everything that it takes to handle that. Question is he going to get some of those putts to fall, and is he going to do it on Sunday? He's been able to put himself in the mix just about as often as anybody else on the PGA Tour, but when it comes winning time, it comes time on Sunday with these last 3 holes that the players are going to face here at TPC Sawgrass. It'll be the toughest test Collin has faced during this winless drought.
Oh, tour high 4 runner-up finishes since the 2024, second in 4 starts this season. The other one, the century. Greg Ducharme, we appreciate you here on HQ. And now we're going to try to make some money looking at the odds to win. It is Scottie Scheffler at the top, plus 400. He is the favorite, followed by Rory McIlroy, Collin Morikawa, the guys that we just talking about. And as we look at this list, let's bring on a guy to talk about it. Let's get a betting angle at the Players' Championship. Sia Nejad joining us now. All right, we're going to get right to it. Your pick to win. Who do you like?
So I'm cheating a little bit, Jenny. I know you were just talking about Scottie Scheffler. I am going to take Justin Thomas, but here's the cheat part. I'm going to do it in the without Scottie Scheffler market. We saw the odds that you just put up there. Justin Thomas is 22 to 1. I'm going to take him, and FanDuel offers this in the without Scotty Scheffler market at 18-1. Again, if you want to take it at 22, I kind of get it, but I just don't want to deal with Scotty Scheffler. With all that said, I think we're in line for Justin Thomas to have a really good Players Championship. We know he won it just 4 years ago. His track record since then, it hasn't been great, but again, there's volatility at the Players, so I don't really mind that. He is #1 weighted tee to green over the last 36 rounds. He's #1 weighted tee to green over the last 24 rounds. He's second in weighted approach over the last 24 rounds, as long as he stays out of trouble off the tee. And as long as the putter is somewhere near neutral, which, you know, at the Players, you can be kind of a member of Team No Putt to potentially win here. I think he's checking all the boxes here. I expect him to be there on Sunday.
Of his 18 scores in the first 2 rounds at TPC Sawgrass, he has only broken 70 twice. But hey, could be his year. Could be a great year for him. How about some DFS goodbyes? Who do you like?
Okay, well, let's talk about Daniel Berger first. A Florida guy. He's typically pretty good in Florida, but what I like about Daniel Berger the best is that he is really coming off what was an injury-riddled like 3 years. Now he's in form. Everything is working. Now you look at the weighted tee to green numbers. You look at just the overall numbers. Everything has been clicking for him. The approach play has been a little sketchy over the last two tournaments, but the long and short of it is he's priced in such a way from a DFS standpoint that I actually think not a lot of people are going to click his name. And that's obviously good when you're talking about game theory and you're talking about low ownership, which is what you want. I think there's other guys in his range that people are going to click. I like the upside. He's been a top 25 machine, but I think he's trending in the right direction. So I like him to potentially top 10 this tournament. I think he could potentially contend. Another guy I like, he's going to be relatively popular, is Michael Kim. Michael Kim has been gaining absolutely everywhere. He's really cheap when we're talking about the pricing, whether it's on FanDuel or any of these other places. He is really economical, which makes him really popular. But this guy has been an absolute top 15 machine. 4th, T6, T13, T13, and T2 over his last 5 tournaments. And for the record, these are in big boy tournaments. These aren't in like alternate fields by any means. He is doing it in the right way. He's gaining everywhere, particularly with the ball striking, particularly with the approach play. Really like Michael Kim to have another great tournament.
How about a best bet for the Players Championship? If you had to pick one, what would it be?
So a lot of times in my matchups, I'm looking to fade somebody as opposed to backing somebody. So I'm going to take Brian Harman. It's -140. It's kind of juicy over Sahith Theegala, but I like Brian Harman. He's got good history here. I think he's a pretty good course fit here, but this is really a fade of Sahith Theegala. I like Sahith Theegala's game overall. I think he's very talented, but he has been way off over the last couple of months, and I don't expect the game to be fixed at TPC Sawgrass. I think he's going to find a lot of trouble off the tee. I think he's going to find a lot of trouble on approach, and Brian Harman is that sort of steady hand that's probably going to get through 4 rounds without having a blow-up round. I can't say the same about Sahith Theegala, so I'm going to take this tournament matchup, Brian Harman at -140.
Great stuff, Sia. We appreciate you. And for more from Sia, you got to check out the early wedge. Great first couple of weeks they've had there, rolling into the Players, talking previews, predictions, and some more DFS shows coming your way all week long. Check it out today.